I'm looking at a demo reel from 10 Caribbean Marketing. And no, they've been out for about 3 years, but seem to be punching above its weight class if you look at just the size of the outfit. Now, in its first day of submission, 10 Caribbean has already been able to secure 3 Addy Awards. And we are speaking to the co-founder as well as the managing director, Mr. Darian Sobian. So welcome, Darian. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me, DK.
No, you piqued my interest, sir, so I want to know what's in a name. 10 Caribbean, why that name?
Well, even when we started the company, we knew that we wanted to focus on being a Caribbean-wide company. So the 10 actually comes from that great Dr. Eric Williams quote when Jamaica was leaving the West Indies Federation. And he said that if you take 1 from 10, you have naught. So we knew that we wanted to be 10, and that's 10 Caribbean.
I man think this hour the evening. But in terms of, this is not your first foray into advertising. So give us a little background into your experience now, because, and I think you've also had experience in more than one territory. So.
Yes. So before I founded 10 Caribbean 3.5 years ago with my partner, Samantha Burke, I worked in advertising in Jamaica for about 10 years, starting first at Prism Communications, where I learned pretty much everything I know. While I was there, I was working for Red Stripe, Digicel, also for RBC Royal Bank. And then I really started to have a longing for working with our local brands and decided to come back to Trinidad about 5 years ago. And when I came back, I really focused more on digital strategies for companies, including Lucozade Caribbean, Caribbean Airlines, also worked with Tobago and Tobago Jazz Festival. And it was while working at those agencies that I really saw an opportunity for a smaller, more dynamic agency. And that's when I decided to start 10 Caribbean.
And I want to actually speak about that, because it's one thing to see a gap. It's another thing to say, okay, well, I'm going to walk through that window. I'm going to be the person to address that gap, that need. And you spoke about it a little bit, being able to operate as a smaller agency. What were some of those gaps that you saw? And how is it that 10 Caribbean actually says, okay, well, we're going to address those gaps?
Well, so yes, we are a boutique agency, but I like to think that there are no small agencies, just like there are no small brands. So over our 3.5 years, we've had the opportunity now to work in over 10 territories. That's no coincidence, but we've worked throughout the Caribbean and throughout the Caribbean diaspora. The reason that we really decided to step into the space is more so than anything else was that we felt there was nobody that was focusing on delivering for micro businesses and delivering the full range of services that some persons would be able to get from a larger agency. So it would be from the point of view of not only getting really strong, insightful strategy, really good content being developed as well, but also doing digital advertising and campaign amplification, which comes through influencer marketing, which is really one of those things that we've distinguished ourselves with.
But that also makes me want to ask, someone may not know. So they say, okay, well, I have a micro business and I am trying to go about getting it advertised in a way more than me just putting out something or possibly even paying for something on Facebook. What is it, or how do I see, okay, well, this is a boutique agency that I can go and they will give me the full works and treat me with that same level or to that level, as opposed to saying, okay, well, I'm going to be a tiny fish in an agency that is a much bigger pond.
Right, so I think that is the challenge, right? That either a lot of persons feel that there's a barrier to entry so that they can't really get to work with these bigger agencies, whether it's a cost challenge or not. But then there's also that if you do have the amount of money to actually work at one of those big agencies or work with one of those big agencies, then you also fall low down on the pecking order. So that's one of the things that we've really focused on is delivering not only imaginative, creative work, but also delivering personalized service to the businesses that really need it. And I mean, it kind of bears through in the awards that we won as well. So the award that we won, which was for outstanding animation, special effects, or motion graphics, that was done for Caesar's Army locally for Bacchanalia weekend. It was an event, but it was something that was produced by my creative director who's based in New York. Oh, there's the video. It was shot all on green screen with 5 different characters in different places and taking them through the experience. Then the work that we did for Immortal Beauty, which is known as the little local luxury brand run by Catherine Nurse, and then wonderfully managed by her as well. We were able to get involved with her, handpick 9 content creators and influencers to work together with her and together become the Immortal Beauties and celebrate their 10th anniversary. So, I mean, the approach always has to be very, very customized solutions based on what the client needs. And that's something that we've been able to develop and deliver on time and time again.
Customized experience is something that's a little tiring. And I say that because with an agency that may have more reach as opposed to a boutique agency, there may be more people delegating, or how does that even go in the sense that am I the person who's taking this roll of cloth and saying, okay, well, yes, we want this shade of white or cream. Am I the person sourcing these things? Or is that what you all do? How tiring is that? Or how do you delegate? Or how do you get it done?
It's tiring, but it's fun. I mean, I think the important thing to understand, right, is even though, like the joke that we've been making internally is that we have the most awards per capita because we're a very small team. But then we also have a very large database of freelancers, of stylists, makeup artists, photographers, videographers, who have all been working with us in order to produce all this work. So I think what the narrative that we're really challenging is, I think a lot of persons think that if you come to a small agency, that there's like one person sitting behind a desk that's stressed out, and that's the exact opposite of the experience you have if you work with 10 Caribbean. We truly believe that there's strength in numbers, and we've been able to amalgamate this group of really talented persons and put them to work for a bunch of really innovative Caribbean brands. And it's been an exciting experience.
And I want to continue speaking about that experience when we return from the break. I also want to talk specifically about the awards and what they mean to you in terms of significance. And most awards per capita, you say? Well, we continue that train of thought when we return speaking with Darian Sobian of 10 Caribbean Marketing. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are speaking with Darian Sobian of 10 Caribbean Marketing. 3 Addy Awards, 3.5 years of existence. Darian, how did you decide, okay, well, we're going to submit this time around? Or is it that you said, okay, well, we're at a level now. Let's try to take this on. How was that process like?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, not to sound cocky, but we always believed that we were producing incredible work. And it's measurable, right? That's the great thing about social media. So when you produce work for a client, you would be able to see based on the engagement level, based on how their sales increase, all those different things are KPIs that you can use to tell whether or not the campaign is successful. For us, it was a question this year of proving that there is this great group of innovative, smaller agencies that are producing great work and being internationally recognized for it. So it's not just us, like we are the tip of the iceberg, or the tip of the spear if you prefer, because I would also like to note some of the other agencies, some of them that I've had conversations with, celebrating over the last week or so. That's Backyard Design Company, who also won, Royalty Club, who also won, and the Unique app, the UnQ app, my apologies, who also won 4 Addies as well. So there are a lot of great agencies that are doing really great work, and it's, I guess, our moment to shine.
And what does that mean in terms of significance? Because sometimes you spoke about wanting to return to Trinidad and Tobago to focus on local brands. Now, there's so many that you just call some names in terms of people who are doing things. What does that mean about trying to emulate somebody else as opposed to just trying to chase excellence? Which one drives you all? How is it that you all go about what it is you're doing?
Well, like I say, so when we started the company, it was myself, Samantha, who's an attorney. She's been an attorney for 10 years. But then also my creative director, who's based out of New York. He's been working with Condé Nast Entertainment for over 10 years himself. And I think more so than anything else, he's been the one that's really been pushing the creative envelope for us. He specializes in animation, so he produced that Bacchanalia animation and the third anniversary reel that you see there. We have really just been challenging ourselves. Like, we really don't compare ourselves to the other agencies. We try as best as possible to top what we did last time every time we go out and produce new work. The Bacchanalia animation that we won for, that was actually our third year producing the Bacchanal Road campaign for Caesar's Army. And like, I recently posted it from my social media page as well. And you can see the evolution from when we started in 2018 to what we produced in 2019 to what was produced in 2020. If we were able to have the event this year in 2021, it would have been something that might have won us a Grammy. But for us, it's continually pushing the envelope and really trying to produce the best work, the most imaginative work that we can, that will really deliver results for our clients.
Now, the thing is, though, if you say that these things are so easily measurable, why go for the awards at all?
I'll tell you what it was for us. I think over the last couple of years, because I've won an Addy Award before while I was at another one of the big agencies. But what we've noticed over the past couple of years, that it's really become, so there are over 3,500 entrants each year. But when it all comes down to it, it's all these big agencies from Trinidad, from Barbados, from Jamaica. It's really become a kind of like opportunity for them to get bragging rights for the rest of the year, to say that we had the most awards. And for us, it wasn't really a question of trying to get the most. It was just trying to say that we are also producing incredible creative work. Our clients have noticed it, and now is the time for the world to take notice.
And that makes me want to ask, what is the narrative that 10 Caribbean Marketing Challenges, you already started to allude to it in terms of saying, okay, well, you may think this, but we are here to say that this is also something you need to look at. Is that something you agree with?
Yeah, there are a number of different things that I think we challenge. I mean, the big thing for me really is that that in the Caribbean, we are really producing incredible products. And I think a lot of persons looking from the outside in, when they think of the Caribbean, they think of sun, sea, and sand, and it's all one monolith. But we've been able to produce work for clients in Atlanta, clients in Florida, clients in Bermuda, clients in Switzerland, and all unique, customized solutions. So I think it's that understanding that a Caribbean agency can deliver international quality work. But then the other narrative that as an agency we always really focus on as well is there's this idea that social media is more execution than strategy. So it's a question of how many posts can you put out in any given week, or how much are you spending on advertising in any given month. For us, it's really been a question of trying to say that we are solving, first of all, that we're defining a problem, and then we're solving that problem in a unique way that will make our clients stand out, and then delivering against that strategy with a unique creative execution. So I think it's really trying to bring digital strategy back to the forefront. And it's borne out in what you see that we actually were awarded for this year. Like the Immortal strategy, yes, the creative execution was incredible, but the strategy itself that came behind it, which was really trying to find influencers in her midst amongst her loyal customers that she had already built up over 10 years, and putting them together and releasing them as this group of powerful Caribbean women that was able to really impact her bottom line. And it's that you have to be able to find that little nugget, that actionable insight that you're able to turn into a great campaign.
I really appreciate the fact that you call yourself a boutique agency, but at the same time, you have reach because you have these partnerships. What is it that you're looking for in a partnership to say, okay, yes, I want to work with this person?
Well, we're looking for somebody that's really willing to try something new. Because, so even if what you've been doing up to now has been working for you up to this point, what we want to introduce is a way for you to even succeed to a greater height. And that's what we want to continue to push clients to. So our best partners have been persons that have been open to the suggestions that we made. Of course, all our suggestions are based on the research that we've done on the work that has been working well for them, on what their competitors are doing, but really trying to carve out a new lane for all our clients as much as possible. And I mean, you can see the work, like we recently just launched our website. You can see all the different work that we've produced for different clients. And it's always trying to open up a new path that hasn't been traversed as yet for them.
And with regard to that new website, in this last 30 seconds, how do individuals contact 10 Caribbean?
Okay, you can reach us at contact@10caribbean.com. That's the email address. But also, you find us on social media. It's always at 10 Caribbean. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. And then the website is just www.10caribbean. And I hope you enjoy the work. It was really great talking with you, DK. I can't believe the interview is over already.
Well, that's a good thing, as opposed to asking, well, it rained by you today. But thank you so much for the work, and congrats once again on your achievement and the achievement of your team, Darian. That's Darian Sobion, Managing Director and co-founder of 10 Caribbean Marketing. 3.5 years, but doing good things. And on behalf of the entire news team, I'm DK Ronstadt. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.